NatureFest grew out of an idea that was presented to me by one of the master gardeners in Charles County, Marlene Smith. And she came forward with the idea that perhaps we could reach out to the community and do something with horticulture, helping people learn more about their gardens and what they could do in their own backyards since everybody was quarantined. And as we talked about it, and she had so many connections, we started to draw on other aspects of nature, such as bird watching and beekeeping and animals. And so it just continued to sort of grow and blossom with time, and people found out about what we were doing and they wanted to participate as well. And so it bloomed into this wonderful event. This event wouldn't have been possible without the support of other organizations. We were so grateful that some grants came out even after we had decided to go forth with NatureFest. And one was a grant from the Maryland Agriculture Education Fund, and they were encouraging teachers to get out there with their kids and get their hands dirty and to provide seeds and soil for the children to go home and plant. And so this was a perfect match for us. And so the Maryland Agricultural Education Fund helped us out. And then the Chesapeake Bay Trust was very supportive as well in helping to cover the various expenses attached to NatureFest. And then we had businesses that stepped up as well. The Wintergreen Nurseries was very generous in donating soil for our grow pots, and R.L. Earnshaw donated 300 beautiful river rocks for our rock painting activity. And then of course the master gardeners were so generous with their time and energy and talents, and on top of donating seeds for the seed collages and the seedlings and the plants and putting all the kits together and the videos together, honestly the number of hours that went in from that organization was really impressive. And then the other people that showed up and contributed as well, it was such a great team effort, and I'd actually never been part of an event like this before. So often it had been just me and some other people working with the Neighborhood Creative Arts Center, but this was very inspiring to see so many fabulous organizations and businesses in Charles County come forth to support something like this.
So basically we're trying to get people to grow their own worm bins.
So as the children and their families arrived at the event, they would check in, and then as they went around our square of tables, we had the master naturalists there with their birds and stuffed animals that are native to Maryland. And as they came around, they'd see Sharon Robbie with her chickens and her roosters and all her various assortments of eggs, ranging from the very tiny ones to the large ostrich egg. As they came around the side, Melwood Horticulture Center was there, and they helped the children make pine cone bird feeders. And then when that activity was complete, they had the option of learning about conservation from the Department of Recycling with the Charles County Department of Public Works. And then they would meet with Seedco, who had lots of coloring books and things for them to take home. And then across 5 tables, we had crafts that they could complete, or not all crafts, but activities that were nature oriented. So some of them were collages with leaves, and some of them were like bee hotels. And fortunately, we had the Interactors, who are sponsored by the Rotary Club of Charles County. And these teams, who are very service oriented, were there to assist the children with these various activities. And as they went around the corner, Pat Biles was there helping the children make vermicomposting kits. And she had contributed all these red wiggler worms. And so that was a unique experience. It was a lot of fun to see the children choose their worms. And then they would meet with the master gardeners, who had a huge array of activities and kits for them to take home so that they could learn more about gardening and the joys of horticulture. And as we went off to the right, there was an amphitheater where John Sullivan was representing the Nanjemoy Creek Conservation Center by doing bird shows every 20 to 30 minutes. It was fantastic, and he showed raptors and owls and birds that were native to Maryland, and he would imitate their bird calls And it was absolutely spectacular. And just near him, Stefano Bergoglio was there with his beekeeping materials to help mentor people to become beekeepers. And then we had goats and puppies and kittens and ducks and chickens and hedgehogs and hamsters and guinea pigs and birds and all kinds of various animals that the children could observe and get to know. So those were all the activities.
Water, okay, plain water, all right, not flavored, carbonated, in a bottle, that considers a beverage. When it's a beverage, that falls under the FDA. Water that comes out of your tap, that's potable, goes under the EPA standards.
As the children left, it was such a joy to see them because they'd have their shopping bag absolutely chock full of kits and different things that they had collected to take home to work on, and along with their very heavy grow pot that was full of soil and their various plants. And so between all of this, it was like a huge trick-or-treat experience, except that they were going home with all kinds of things to help them understand and love nature more. We had an incredible feedback from the whole event. The people who participated enjoyed the opportunity to engage with families. It had been a long time since we'd had in-person experience because of COVID, and everybody was ready to learn. They were so primed for this event. And so you didn't see anybody scrolling on their phone. Their phone was only out to take pictures. And so the people who were there to contribute were happy to share their joy in what they do and their expertise. And families, we got a wonderful series of positive comments through email, text, and Facebook posts saying thank you so much for the variety of activities and for everything we were able to bring home. My children had an amazing experience. And one email that I received that I particularly enjoyed was one from a new family that had just arrived in Charles County. And the mother was so concerned. Her daughter's an only child and she has some health issues.
I really fell in love with this area a little today. I hoped with all my heart that we picked a good place to live for Gracie, and you and your event absolutely helped me feel like we did. Thank you for that. Mariana.
It was such a joy to see everybody coming together and having such a great, wholesome experience. It is awesome. It is going so well. What better can it get? You've got children and nature. It's the two best things in life.
We had a great time.
It was incredible.
Much more than what I expected.
Yeah.
For your inaugural event.
It's very constant. Lots of people coming through having a great time.
Inertia. It'll look like that with
Cartoons, turtles can walk out of their shells and go get a new shell.
And there's her little tail. And look, there's her little face.
It was a good day for us. Yes, it was a lot of fun. What do you think?
An interesting, like pseudo little fact on the side is that when
That's what I figured.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it's a table, but I'm gonna get it in the water.